Hello everyone, welcome to my second video on strum patterns. I have what this document that I have in front of me, I just went ahead and typed up these first ones here, 1 through 5, are from my first video that I did. I'm doing the video a little differently this time to try to give everyone a better visual of what I'm doing, because my strumming guitar, you just hear the sounds. So this right here was the first 5 that I went through in the first video. This is my second video, so that's why here's strum patterns number 2. And I have 6 new ones here that I've went through. 3 of them I'm done the last 2 days that I've come up with. As you might already notice, if you look at some of these, you'll notice that 3 through 6 are not full patterns. They're actually half measure patterns, and I'll discuss that in a little bit when I get to those. But I want to concentrate on these first 2 here real quick. And then you'll notice a few over here, I have some side notes. These are songs that I have played these patterns on, so that way if I have like questions, like someone's like, hey, how do I play that pattern? I could think of the song in the back of my head, and I was like, oh, that's right, this song did it. And so I think of the song, and then I can relate the pattern to it that way. So let's look at the number 1 here on the patterns 2. This pattern is going to be 1, 2, and 4, and then 1, 2, and 3, 4. This pattern, when you hear it, it sounds more a pattern for like an upbeat song. If I play through it, and I'm just going to play a normal G for this, it's going to be 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and... if you want to, you can add another and on the end of that 4 if you like to. If you like having the ands going from repeating the pattern, that's fine. You can add that on there. But that's pretty much what this first pattern sounds like. Is 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right. So that's going to be your first pattern. That's what it's going to sound like. Second pattern here, I have off to the side Better Is One Day. I actually did not play this pattern for Better Is One Day. I had another person I know that does Worship's videos, and you might know him. He's from Acoustic Selections. His name's Matt McCoy. He did a video on Better Is One Day, and I ended up deciphering his pattern, and this is what he used. It's just ever since I started doing making my strum patterns, I'm learning now how to reverse engineer them and be able to write them down when I hear them. So the one that he used is 1 and 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and. It's actually really cool how it sounds. So we're looking at here is going to be 1 and 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 3, 4. And I'm going to switch from A to D on these, so that way you guys kind of get where the start and the end of strum pattern is, okay? So we have 1 and 3, 4, and then we have and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2. So that's what it's going to sound like. All right. I will do my best real quick to do Better Is One Day in this. And he is you're gonna be using the key of E for this. So it's gonna be a little bit of a higher octave than normal. So I like this. How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord Almighty, to find you in the place your glory dwells. All right, and that is kind of how you do it. Not bad. So that's Better Is One Day, and that's going to be pattern 2 here. If we slip down here to pattern 3, this pattern is for can be for fast or for really slow. The pattern this is actually used directly in is Jeremy Camp's I Still Believe. I did a cover of that a while ago when I started this channel, and I recently did a tutorial about it. The other song that this relates to is actually Soar by Meredith Andrews. I just got done doing the tutorial, but I did not use this strum pattern, and I should have. The strum pattern I end up using is actually this one way up here, which is one I use in about 90% of my videos. It just works for a lot of songs. So going back down here, this one, if you're looking and you're thinking, how am I going to count from 1 and now count anything else except for 2 ands? And that's the really cool part about this strum pattern, is if you're having trouble trying to hear it, you can actually start on the and 1. All right. So instead of like doing like 1, okay, that's it. So 1 and 2. Oh, sorry, 1 and 1 and 1. You can, if you want to, you can start off with the and go like this. If that's better for you. Now, if you want to hear what this sounds like for Jeremy Camp's I Still Believe, let me get my capo set up correctly, and you'll hear what this sounds like on an actual song. Scattered words and empty thoughts seem to flow from my heart. Never been so torn before. Seems I don't know where to start. But it's now that I feel your grace fall like rain. Okay, so that is how to do that one. Jeremy Camp's I Still Believe. I'm not going to bother going into SOAR. That's the best one for this pattern. Okay, and that is pattern 3. Now, pattern 4, I have on here Good Good Father. That is actually the one that I used to do my Good Good Father tutorial. And I'm gonna skip 5 for a second. I'm going down to 6 because I have the same song under it, and that is pretty much because these are almost the exact same strum patterns. Technically, there are 2 different ones. Because if you look here, one has the 3, and the other one does not. And that's going to make a bit of a difference. And then I'm going to show you a real cool way what you can do with these half-measure strum patterns, all right? So we have here 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1. So for me, I did Good Good Father in the key of D, so it's going to sound like this. Okay, so actually what I'm doing here is that is actually, this one right here is actually the one that I was doing, but you can incorporate in this other one if you need to on the 3rd note, or your 3rd beat, my bad. So if you want to, you can do like this: 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4. All right, so that was Good Good Father. Can do that one. And then this one here is actually the one I kind of prefer, which is 1 and 4 and. Okay, so it sounds like this. So it's like, I've heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard the tender whisper of love. Actually, my bad. This is why, for me, it's a little harder to go through between strum patterns. That was actually Jeremy Camp's I Still Believe, if you recognize it. So it's like, so if I do this right. There we go. I've heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I heard the tender whisper of love in the dead of night you tell. Okay, and that's gonna be this one here. This one is gonna be posted about the same time for Safe by Phil Wickham. I just got done doing this tutorial right before this video, and this could be 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. All right, what this one sounds like is like this. Let me take off capo here. Doing Jeremy Camp's. So this one is going to sound, now if I do it for Safe by Phil Wickham, I did that in this key of C sharp. So let me set that up real quick here. And it's going to sound a bit like this. 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and, oops, sorry. 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2, 3 and 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 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and. All right. Now here's something now if you're wondering why have I been going with strum patterns that are only half measures, because these are the most recent ones here. And that is because I found out if you do a strum pattern in a half measure, you can start combining strum patterns together. And you wonder, well, how you say? Let's say, let's take this one apart, for example. Okay, this is technically made of two different half measure strum patterns. It's a full measure, right? So I have one pattern that goes 1, 2, and 4, and another that goes 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now, if I just did 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 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 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right, and then I could do like 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4. So I have two different half measures here. And if I go down here, and let's say I combine two extremely alike patterns, let's say 4 and 6. So where I have 1, 3, and 4, and then do 1 and 4, and. How would that sound? It actually sound a little bit different. Let me go to my good father one here. Okay, so I have 1, 3, and 4, and 1, and 4, and. So I have 1, so I now have 1, 3, and 4, and 1, and 4, and. That's my new pattern now. I just made a whole new pattern just off two half measures. That's why it's so nice to come up with these little half measures. You can combine them together. All right, and it's still the same song. I mean, you can combine different ones, of course, but these I still use the same song. It's just going to be a tad different, but not by much. So let's try that out real quick. I have not rehearsed this part. So 1, 3, and 4, and 1, and 4, and. So I have 1, 3, and 4, and 1, and 4, and 1, 3, and 4, and 1. So I have. Let's see if I can do this right. 1, 3, and 4, and 1, and 4, and 1. Let's see. 1, 3, 4, and 1, and 4, and 1. See, that's a little harder to get because they're so similar. Let's try a couple different ones that I might have a better luck with. Let's look at 3 and 5 here. Let's look at 3 and 5 for a second here. We got two that are quite a bit different. So we have 1 and 1. Okay, so we have 1 and 1 and 1. All right. So let's try 1 and then come down here. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. This is going to be quite a different strum pattern. I mean, as you can tell already. If I can't pull this off, that's okay. I have not rehearsed this, so I don't tend to hopefully do this. So we have 1 and 1, okay? But look at here, 1 and 1 and 2. So let's just try that part. Okay, let's try 1 and 1 and 2. Let's go slowly on this, at least for my sake. All right, so we have 1 and so we have 1 and 1 and 2, 3 and. Let's see if I can do this right. 1. Let's see if I can do this right. Man, this is really difficult for me. But this is a really cool part. You can find out these really complex patterns just from adding some half measures together. Let me try this one more time before I end the video. I really want to try and see where this goes. See, I have down here, I'm looking right here. I have 3 and 3 and 1. Okay, so let's try this. See, 1 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and. Oh, this is I'm thinking because if you look at this, I have and here exactly in the same spot. The only difference is and look, if you look at this, if I just block these two off, these are exact same the ands. There's no fours. So I have one here that has 3 missed notes, and one here only has 1. See the big difference between these two, but this is what the fun part about looking through strum patterns is figuring out what fits a song. That's why I have this one way up here, because it fits a lot of songs. And then now I can start combining things and come up with a really unique pattern that hopefully I can accomplish by heart. Anyways, I'm not going to bother trying this anymore and bore you with the sounds. Like, go ahead and try it yourself. But anyways, this is my second strum patterns video of the 6 patterns, 4 of them being half measures. I did not notice until I put out the sheet that I have not put any 3/4 timing strum patterns on here. But I'm going to wait on that. I already do have a 3/4 timing song that I did. Is We Am Coming to This House. It's 3/4 timing. It's my first song and only song I've done with it. There's a very recent song on the radio that actually uses 3/4 that I did not know until I started listening a little bit more closer. Anyways, this is my second video. I hope I helped teach you some more strum patterns that you can use in your songs and which songs they even belong to. Other than that, thank you very much for being with me here at XALT Ministries. Have a very blessed day.